Now, if you're not ready to do that and you simply want to basically understand how Google Analytics works, then I would recommend getting access to Google Analytics demo account. And so if you just type in and search Google Analytics demo account, basically what you're going to do, you're going to choose the first listing there and you're going to go to demo account. So if you have a Google Analytics or Google login, then all you need to do is click on access demo account. And so what Google's going to do is put this demo account into your account. And so it's going to look something like this. So if I click on demo account here, it's going to add to my Google Analytics account. So I'm going to have then access to the demo account from Google in Google Analytics. So I would recommend going this route here if you're not familiar, you're not sure what you're getting yourself into. So think of the demo account as kind of a test drive. You're test driving Google Analytics before you even add any code to your website. So again, all you need is a Google account. And if you have a Google account and you add the demo account to your Google Analytics account, you're going to be able to see how analytics works. Okay. And so that's what I would also recommend. So if you're not ready to start adding code to your website, then what you can do is just simply add the demo account. And then once you add the demo account, you're free to peruse around Google Analytics to see the different types of reports it has to offer. Now, when you do actually set up a Google Analytics account, you're going to have some settings that you're going to want to pay attention to. So when you set up the account, you have the account name and then you have a property. So under each property, you have by default, you're going to have one view. And so here you can see this view here. So if we look at the account we set up a demo Simply Learn account. Property is demo Simply Learn. So that's associated with the website we're going to track. And then again, by default, under each property, you're going to have a view. And so by default, the name of the view is going to be called All Website Data. And so in that view is where all your analytics data is going to be stored. So you can see my screen here. There's a lot of different settings you have. You have settings under the account, you have settings under the property, and you have settings under the view. So we're going to talk more about these settings in future webinars for advanced Google Analytics users. But for now, know that there's a bunch of settings that you have that you can play around with when it comes to Google Analytics. Anything from adding users to your Google Analytics account, your Google Analytics property or view. You can actually set up goals, you can set up filters, you can set up segments, you can link up Google Ads, you can, set up remarketing lists. There's a lot you can do in terms of the settings as it relates to Google Analytics. So know those settings are there. They're located right down here in this little sprocket icon. That's the admin icon. So if you need to get to these settings at any time, you could simply just click on the sprocket or the admin icon, and then you'll be prompted to choose any one of these settings here that you want to edit or alter. So now let's take a look at some Google Analytics reports. So once you've actually set up your account, you have a number of different reports that you have available to you in Google Analytics. So we're going to take a look at customized reports. We're going to look at real-time audience reports, acquisition, behavior, and conversion. So these are all the different reporting buckets, if you will, that you have available to you in Google Analytics. So if I'm an admin and I'm looking at the Google demo account, let's start out by looking at real-time. So if I click on the real-time report and I just click on overview, so basically what this is going to do is show me at this point in time how many users I actually have active on the website. Okay, so that's why they call it real-time reporting, because it allows you to see the behavior of users who are currently on your website. And so this is the overview report under real-time. And you can see here, I can see that 79% of my users are coming from desktop, 18%, 20% are coming from mobile, and then approximately 3% are coming from tablet. Here I can see how they actually came to the website. So this is the referring source. If they came from, say, search or social, I can see the source there, and I can see what pages they're active on. And then here I can see what locations, where they're located. And so if I want to see a breakdown of everything in the overview, I can certainly do that. If I go to locations under real time, I can see a majority of my users are coming from the United States. Okay, where are they coming from? I'll just click on traffic sources. And here I could see the different sources and mediums. Medium is the means in which the traffic was driven. So if it's Google, it's either paid search or organic search. So I can see here it's organic. Then I can actually see what content they're looking at on my website. So I can see currently I have 3 active users on the home page, 2 active users on the Google's Women's White Tea page, so forth and so on. Now, most importantly, if you have event tracking set up, so if you've taken a look at our Google Tag Manager webinar, you know that you could set up event tracking in Google Analytics to measure engagement on your website, whether that be a form submission or somebody clicking on the play button of a video. So if I click on events, I'll be able to see what events are firing. So here I can see we have event tracking set up, and I can see how many different events are firing on my website in real time. So here I can see e-commerce, somebody clicking on the quick view click, a couple of users clicking on add to cart, a couple of users clicking on the promotion click. And as these events are fired, you're going to be able to see them highlighted. So if something gets fired, it's going to get highlighted. And I could see that these are the current events that I have currently firing on the website. And that's what's currently fired now. If I want to look at the events that have happened in the last 30 minutes, I could just click on this link here, last 30 minutes, and it's going to give me an overview of the events that have happened over the past 30 minutes. Okay, so that's event tracking. And then more importantly, we can also look at what conversions are happening in real time just by clicking on conversions. And so now I could see I had 1 active user who entered the checkout. So that's goal number 4. So in analytics, you can have up to 20 goals. And so here I can see we have goal number 4 has already had 1 active user. And so if I look at the last 30 minutes, I can see I still have only 1 goal over the last 30 minutes, and that was somebody who entered the checkout. So that's real-time reporting. In summary, it just gives you an idea of what's currently happening on your website. And so for me, ideally, if I'm launching a campaign, or let's just say you do a new website redesign and you want to see how users performing and behaving, then real time is a good option for you. So you could see how things are happening in real time. Now let's jump down to audience reporting. So if I click on audience, this is just right underneath real time. I'm going to see a number of different reports available to me under audience. And so let's click on the audience overview report. So audience reporting basically allows us to get a sense of who is coming to our website. When I say who is coming to our website, it doesn't necessarily have to be a specific person. In fact, Google doesn't allow personally identifiable information in Google Analytics. Personal identifiable information such as a specific name, social security number, credit card information, etc. However, we could still paint a nice picture on who is coming to our website, meaning what country, city, or state did they come from, what language, what device did they get to our website from, how old were they, okay, were they male or female or other, what interests did they have, what browser did they use. So we can paint a nice picture based on all this information that Google Analytics is providing us under audience. So if I go to audience overview, here I can see I have all these different options available to me to get a basic understanding of who is coming to our website. So for example, I could see a majority of the people coming to our website speak English and are from the United States. Okay, in fact, that represents 61% of the users. And so Google Analytics does a great job of giving me an overall percentage. So if I have 100% of the users, I could see 61% of those users represented English-speaking users from the United States. 7% represented English-speaking users from Great Britain. And so when it comes to analytics, we have users, and users are broken down into two categories. They're either returning or they're new. So when you add the Google Analytics tracking script to your website, what's going to happen is if a user or when a user goes to your website, they're going to get cookied. And if it's the first time they've been to your website, what Google Analytics is going to do is store a cookie in the browser. So when that same user comes back another day in the same browser, Analytics is going to recognize that that cookie is in the browser. And so then Analytics is going to categorize that user as a returning user. Okay, so that's how Analytics is able to differentiate new versus returning. So if that user doesn't have a cookie in the browser, then Analytics is going to recognize that, store the cookie, and then count that user as a new user. And so when you're looking at Analytics, you're going to be able to see a breakdown of new versus returning. So here I can see over 3/4 of my traffic over the past week. Here I can see April 6th through April 12th, over 3/4 are new users to the website. Here I could see about 24% are returning users. Okay, so I can get a good breakdown of what type of users are coming. Am I driving new traffic? Am I driving traffic that's been to my website before? What language are they speaking? Okay, I can also paint a bigger picture. How old are they? What gender are they? Do they come from mobile? So let's take a look at some of these different reports under audience.